What's up, guys? There's a fire truck. Just got home right now. I watched Black Widow finally, the first time ever. So yeah, I'm basically gonna be doing my review. So stay tuned. Black Widow was the first movie in the MCU that came out in recent memory since the COVID pandemic, and I think that overall the movie did exactly what a Marvel movie would do. And let me get into the details. So the story picks up in between the events of Captain America: Civil War and Avengers: Infinity War, and essentially, Natasha is still on the run, and she is brought back into her old life, which was her life as a basically a Black Widow. Like, she was born out of the Red Room. She's lived a life full of lies, and everyone who she knew, everyone who thought was her family, like she was backstabbed. She had a family that essentially wasn't even really her family. So we kind of get to see more of that side to her, because we just know her as kind of like that stoic kind of dry humor, but here we kind of see her more with like those like emotions that she has, like certain things, like all the questions that she hasn't answered, and essentially everything that we kind of question was kind of touched upon in some ways, like Budapest. They talked about Budapest in this movie. They kind of showed a little bit of Budapest in this movie. It's been teased since essentially 2012 with Avengers, where Natasha and Clint are talking about, oh, this kind of reminds me of Budapest, right, during the final battle, but they never really showed what happened, except for the fact that she killed the main villain in this movie. I forgot what his name was, but she killed that guy's daughter. And this guy is, the big bad. He's the one that kind of, pulls all the strings. He kidnaps all of these children, puts them in the Red Room to develop them as, these highly trained killers and assassins. And he plans for like world domination, pretty much. And she as a like a conclusion, she essentially, I'm gonna kill him, and with the help of Clint, essentially that's what happened in Budapest. Like, he and Natasha go off on this mission, and they end up killing his daughter. And spoiler alert, I don't know if I should spoil this to you guys, but Taskmaster is actually his daughter, and Taskmaster, she has a chip inside of her head that kind of gives her the ability to, I don't know if it's a chip or if she just has the innate ability after that incident of the explosion that she can mimic anybody's like abilities and stuff. And so I think that's pretty much, like, plot wise, everything that I really remember. But I think that the plot is, it started off very slow, and then around the second act it started to pick up more action sequences and more developments to the story. And the third act was, this gigantic set piece taking place in, spoiler alert, kind of reminded me of the final battle in The Winter Soldier, where they were fighting on these helicarriers. There was this floating city, like, laboratory where that was the Red Room. Essentially, it was floating. That's why they couldn't find it, and so the whole set piece was in the sky. And think The Winter Soldier, but bigger in scale. There was like a lot of things flying around everywhere, and like multiple levels. Because I know the helicarrier was just, you see that there's just that station, and then like this whole second layer. But in this laboratory, there's like multiple layers to it, and you see Natasha like crashing through the walls, and like, until she ends up in like the room where the Red Guardian was able to trap Taskmaster. And overall, I
Do you
that
fake
that
cry the
set,
final
that
battle?
final battle was just so good. I think that I'm gonna rewatch just if I were to rewatch this whole movie, I would just watch that part. And yeah, now let's get into oh yeah, I didn't really say like what I liked about the plot. I think that the plot was you know it's I think it's fresh because Phase Four, they're trying to switch things up. There's definitely a lot more humor, a lot of dark humor, might I add. There's especially the scene with Yelena where she mentions what happens in the Red Room, and she's just like it's really dark. I don't like she says because basically in the Red Room the Black Widows, I don't know if that's what they call these agents, they're stripped of their ability to reproduce. So I think they get their sexual organs like you know yanked out, and she just played it off like a joke, and I was like, okay, so this movie's gonna go there. The movie was just like filled with dark humor, and like the humor that we're used to Natasha having, like
Cheer him up.
basically almost everyone in this movie has that kind of humor, and Yelena's like times two. So yeah, the plot had humor, it had drama, definitely had drama. It was very a lot of
No,
emotional
I think
stakes.
the
It was good.
transformation,
And the
lights should dim,
characters,
and then he takes it.
I think my favorite
Or
character
maybe
is
that's
definitely
already
Yelena, and my
for-
dad also says that she was his favorite character. And I told him that I was like, oh, she's probably gonna be taking up the mantle of Black Widow because Natasha dies in Endgame. So yeah, the characters are all great. Red Guardian, he was kind of annoying at first, but then towards the end I kind of hated him a little less. Yeah. So the their mom or mom, she was pretty good too. She kind of had like a redemption towards the end, and Natasha herself, basically the same Natasha. I mean, her character. I mean, I guess this tied up the loose end of what we saw Natasha in the beginning of Phase One or something, where she was kind of like this spy character who didn't show any emotion. Thank you for your cooperation. That's also in this movie, by the way. Um, you know, yeah, just basically same old Natasha. Character development, she kind of learned more about herself, more about her mission, more about her purpose, and she owned up to her purpose, fulfilled her mission. And the only thing, I'm gonna get to that then. The music was okay. It was alright, kind of forgettable, but the music in the final battle was really good. Um, but throughout the movie, it was kind of like the score. It didn't get to me. It didn't get to me. But overall, it did its purpose, and yeah, that's and yeah, the pacing of the movie, like I said, was already slow, and then second act started picking up more, and then yeah, so yeah, let me just rate this. Let me talk about that thing. There's just a loose end that kind of, we still don't really get answers to the questions of like, oh, how did she end up with Steve Rogers in the beginning of Infinity War? And we were just shown, literally the last clip was just a tree. It was a tree, and like you just see like a bunch of fireflies, and the camera focused on like those fireflies. I don't know what it means. Probably gonna have to watch some emergency awesome videos. So I don't know what that means. And post credit scene, just Yelena talking to Madame Hydra, which we saw in the Winter Soldier, and yeah. So overall, the movie, I would give it an 8 out of 10. Solid start to the movie Phase 4, because I know Phase 4 already started with WandaVision, but I think to me this definitely quenched my Marvel thirst, because we haven't gotten content in so long, and I think that this movie did deliver. It's I changed my phone wallpaper to Black Widow, so that's definitely showing you how much I like this movie. And thank you for watching. If you guys like this content, please leave a like and subscribe, and watch my other stuff. I'll be doing more reviews when Shang-Chi comes out. I'm kind of inconsistent with my Loki reviews because I've been busy with the internship, but right now I have time to watch and digest Black Widow. By the way, by the time that Shang-Chi comes out, I'm probably done with my internship, so I'm gonna be reviewing that. And yeah, I'm gonna go watch Glee now with my sisters. So thanks for watching.